What's up, everybody? YoBGS here. It has been a long time. Too long. Did you miss me? Don't answer that. I won a trophy. It's for Mario 3 speedrunning, and that is what we're going to talk about today. How to beat it in under 15 minutes. Let's get into it with the intro. Well, so technically the trophy I got was for speedrunning the Mario 3 randomizer, but I figure if I can beat that pretty quickly, then I can beat the original Mario 3 pretty quickly, and we're going to get into it, and we'll see just how fast you can go with basic strats. We got 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, now, you probably know Warp Whistle is going to be a big part of this run, so going into the first level, surprisingly, what you want to do is skip the mushrooms. You can get those a little bit later on. I grab the shell, kick it, so you can run a little bit, get some of that speed going off of the blocks there, and watch out, because it's really easy to land on those and die. Now, bounce off the Koopa, try not to land on the top, and we get the first card. Moving on to the second level. I love this game because I loved it because it was predictable, at least to run the original game compared to the randomizer where all the enemies are mixed up. Obviously, the big thing you want to do is get and keep your P speed or your sprint speed. This level you can just kind of run through. There are some faster ways to do it. I always recommend checking out like MitchFlowerPower for sure, TheHaxor, another awesome Mario 3 speedrunner, GrandPooBear. I don't know if he's still running it, but I know those are three people that can show you a lot more of the advanced strats. These are some of the day one speedrunning type of things. We'll go grab the Koopa, kick it so that we can just kind of keep the sprint action going. That's where we'll get the mushroom. Now, if you played this as a kid, you know where the warp whistles are going to be, so this is pretty basic here. You kick the turtle. Wow, I didn't kick the turtle here. Wow. Yeah, you just duck down, and then you run straight to the end of the level where we're going to get the first whistle. Now, I hate to admit it, but I had to have been in my late 20s before I knew how to actually warp to World 8. I knew you could warp, but I didn't know about the double whistle strat. So, gonna go into the castle here. The first box is a flower. You don't want that one. We want the box that's a leaf. That's a little bit later on in the level. I do some okay movement, like I said, again, for kind of a new-ish player to it. And it's stuff that I learned from the randomizer. Don't worry about it on your first few runs. Fly up top here. We're going to go in a door that we can't see. That's where we get the second whistle. I missed the jump there. Again, don't worry about doing a lot of the super precise stuff on your first runs. Just worry about getting through it as quickly as you can, and that'll work out pretty well for you. So you go to the warp zone using the whistle. Then you warp in the warp zone, and that's how you get to World 8. And I can't believe I played this game for years before I knew you could do that. I thought you had to go to World 2 and then warp to World 8, but now we're in sort of the, I don't want to call it the fun part of the run because it's definitely not the fun part of the run. It's the auto-scrollers, and these are kind of cool in the randomizer because in the randomizer they take out the part of this that auto-scrolls, so you can just run through it as fast as possible. The only advice I have is don't be mad when you die here. Before this run, all of my runs died in at least one of these tankers because you just kind of have to memorize where you want to go. You have to memorize, kind of the things you want to do to get through it safely. And I've run this probably 50 times, not much in the grand scheme of things. And I still barely know where I want to go. So, don't worry about that too much. I'll show you what's in this question block. It's actually another leaf. So if you do take a hit in the first part of this level, don't worry. You can grab another leaf there. The leaf is going to come in handy a little bit later on for the airship. I don't know what to call it. There's a lot of airships in this game, but the flying stage where you have to basically jump over gaps the entire time. It's helpful there, and it's helpful for 8-1, where we can fly over a segment of the level. Again, and I know that that's not how a lot of people will do it in the top tiers, but, if you're just trying to beat this game because you never beat Mario 3 growing up, you're not really worrying about the top tier strats. You're like, how can I get through this without throwing my controller down in rage? How can I beat this while the kids are taking a nap, basically? And that's what I'm here to help you out with. So you're gonna get a star for beating this level, kind of do a little bit of swag, a little bit of flying there. Then you go into the Navy. This is where the good runners will hit that question block down there. That is a flower. and then they keep the flower for the rest of the run. I'm not going to be doing that. That is a very difficult thing to do, and you can get a flower a little bit later on. You'll see where I pick it up. It's much, much safer, although it can make some of these levels a little bit trickier, and you'll see why in just a little bit. Again, it's an auto-scrolling level, so just figure out where you want to jump and be consistent. Jump in the same spots every time. It makes it a lot of trial and error. And admittedly, if you're someone like me and your attention's not the greatest, it can be really boring. And you can lose runs to getting hit because you're bored. And that's sort of what I've dealt with in a lot of these. I don't know, in this I may cut out some of just the auto-scrolling because it's so predictable. But I think it's helpful because it gives you an idea of some of the safer places you can jump to not have to worry about getting hit. Again, I like these in the randomizer because you don't have to auto-scroll. You can actually get sprint speed and sprint through the entire level, which is really cool. Those guys blow up, you drop down there. See, if you have the flower here, you can kill Boom Boom with 5 fireballs, which saves, several seconds. But I'm more a fan of safety, at least in these tutorials anyway. It was actually kind of cool when I did this run. This was the fastest I've ever beaten Mario 3. I was going to say in this category, but in any category, as a matter of fact. Now, you want good luck here. You have a 50% chance of landing in any of these hands. And I sort of mess up the jumps here. This is the worst hand you can get because it takes the longest to get through. Fly over the top there, go in the pipe. You're going to get a backup leaf, but ideally, if you're going for a great time, this will be a reset point. You have to play until you get the 12.5% chance that you get no hands. I only got 1. That's pretty good. Here is why I like to save the leaf. This level is way less annoying if you can kind of flutter over a lot of these. I forget if these are Rocky Wrenches or if they're, these aren't Monty Moles. Monty Mole is like a different game. Mole Mania, I think. But you can get past the wrench guys and sort of not worry about them when you can jump and flutter. And again, it's another matter of just getting your jumps down, jumping in the same spots every time. I was going to say this is the last auto-scroller, but there is one more coming up, and the last one is kind of a pain. Mainly because I don't have my jumps down there yet. And that's the thing. If you want to get into speedrunning, I highly encourage you to play out a lot of your runs, because you'll run into the same troubles that I've been running into, which is, all right, all these levels, I've got my jumps down, right? Well, in the final auto-scroller, I don't have my jumps down because I don't make it there that much. So you have to practice all the levels, otherwise you're just going to keep getting stumped farther and farther into the run. Got the orb there, beat the Boom Boom, lost another couple seconds because I did it with the leaf. But the leaf is going to come in handy here, I think, in 8-1 a little bit. I used a star because we got that one earlier on. And here's the cool part about it. You can just run through all of these. I used to try and get P-Speed and fly through part of the level, but that ends up taking way too long. So we're going to wait for some of the bullet bills here. It's easier to just bounce. Well, got lucky there. But it's easier to use the bullet bills here to just bounce off of. I'm not the best with the music note timing, so the bullet bills help you out there. Again, pray you didn't get your 3rd star card, otherwise you're going to lose some time to a cutscene. 8-2, super easy level, just requires a bit of I was going to say a leap of faith, but I don't know that you necessarily call it that. Just a little bit of good timing. I take the easy way. You can get through this level fairly consistently without going down the sand pit or without going into the pipe at all. It's just easier to do it this way, I think. We're going to run up to the top here. By the way, the pipe on the right, faster than the one on the left. I got hit anyway, so I should have just damage boosted. Sprint down the hill, take a big jump. You can make it over those and get to the end of the level. That's the last level that is going to be played in the run. Still got a little bit of some other stuff to do. Little odds and ends kind of cleaning up going on here. Don't know why I did that. I guess just because I maybe wanted to take a damage boost or something. I played this run like a week ago, and so I've forgotten some of the logic. That will always be a fire flower, and that fire flower is very helpful. So this level plays the same every time. Your first time through, you're probably like, where do I go? What do I do? Well, you go in this door. You hit this P-switch. I got a neat little trick there where I bounced off of the P-switch. Go in this door, head to the right. If you're super fast, and I was just barely not fast enough, if you are super fast, you can get in that second door before the P-switch ends. I fell here, so just ignore me while I waste a lot of time. But you get through there, you get through on the first cycle, and obviously you don't have to wait that entire second sequence. Gonna use some fire on the old boom boom here. Boom boom, shake the room, and we are moving on to the final series of the final screen of the game, I guess you'd call it. And admittedly, since pipes in the randomizer are randomized, like it can dump you out anywhere essentially, I lost a couple runs to not remembering which way to go. Now, fire is going to be helpful here. I think the good runners will use that first cannon to jump up top so that they don't have to deal with any of this, but again, if you're not thinking of it or you're just new to the game, you're probably going to be down here, and you'll probably get frustrated when you bop a couple different things. Just using fireballs to take out the rocky wrenches. Gotta find a way to keep yourself entertained. And trying not to get hit is huge here, because if you have fire when you fight Bowser, it is so much better. It's so much easier to fight Bowser with fire, and it's a lot quicker. Not as quick as the hammer suit. Most people don't know that. You can kill Bowser with the hammer suit in like 4 hammers, and it goes super fast. But you don't find that in this category. By the way, I don't know that I mentioned that. The category we're doing is any percent no wrong warp, because there is a way to basically glitch yourself to the end screen of the game. And from a lot of people I've talked to about speedrunning, they're not huge on those like end credit type warps, at least not for themselves. 11 minutes, we're through here. If I could keep the fire through the rest of the run, knock on plastic, we'd be good to go. Unfortunately, that is not going to be the case. All right, so you YOLO run underneath these guys, pray they don't hit you. Top of the steps. And coming up is really cool. It's a glitch that literally anybody can do. Watch out for the hot foot. Up to the top, avoid the shiny disco balls. They spin the same way every time. Easy to do. You get this one up, you duck and jump. And it's going to take me a second. There we go. Anybody can get through that wall. It's just the game's way of handling like collision detection, basically. I'm going to try, I tried a very specific trick here where you get in that wall and it will spit you out at Bowser, which it didn't work out. I was hoping it would work out for Swag. And guess who forgot what he was doing? Got hit right before Bowser. Yeah, may as well get hit that second time. Here's something you may not have known about this game. Bowser is not wearing any pants. By that I mean they did not program the bottom half of Bowser. So you can literally just stand under him. It's not cheating. I'm not doing anything in particular. It's just Bowser doesn't have pants. So you stand under him and you gotta wait for him to bounce back and forth. Now this is where I pointed out you can lose a lot of time really quickly. If I still had the fireballs, you just spam fireballs at him until he dies and it saves a lot of time. That's where this run gets you though, and it's why it's so much fun, because I could very easily, obviously, save a lot of time just by doing the right thing. If you're gonna go for some swag here, don't fall in the pit. That happened to me not that long ago, before I got my trophy. Timer ends when you go in the door, and just like that, in a little over 13 minutes, we have saved Princess Peach. We'll go through the credits. It's kind of a longer thing, but the main thing I wanted to say is that it is incredible to be back. It's nice to just be able to make videos again. Long story short, pandemic was a whole thing, and I got out of making content for a while. So that's why this video may seem a little bit rusty. But if you stopped by, especially if you're from any of the Facebook groups that I've found, you guys have kind of helped me through the pandemic, and I appreciate my Gamers Over 30 group, my Nintendo throwback groups, all the people who claim to hate speedrunning, but then love when people can kind of present it in a cool way. So I appreciate all of you, and of course, the tournament. I won my trophy. The time that I won my trophy in the Mario 3 randomizer tournament as part of Randomania, that was really amazing as well. Again, it gave me something to just kind of keep my eyes and ears on through all of this, and it's been nice. I think a lot of people are turning to some retro games to kind of help them through. I'm holding onto my chair like it's the last thing stopping me from falling off the planet right now. Again, maybe I'll make some more videos. Maybe I'll do some reaction type stuff. If there are any games you want me to try and learn a speedrun for or make a video or something, feel free to comment below, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's nice to see my channel has kept growing despite me being gone. I don't know what that says, that the best thing for me may be not making content on the channel. Maybe I'll just start making some vaporwave CDs or something like that. But easy for you to say. That is going to do it for me for this video. Thanks again for tuning in. I sincerely appreciate it. I know I've got a video coming up on Joe and Mac. I'm probably going to have a video coming up on Turtles in Time, which you can see right there. Just, again, helping you knock those games off of your backlog and be able to say that you beat them. That is the end.